Hi everyone. I talk about opening the portal of the heart. This is the time that we're in. We're actually in the dimension or coming into the dimension of the heart. So to explain what the heart is, we have, as a total vibrational being, we are actually, like I said before, if we actually had the soul come out of our body, what would our body do? And the body would actually fall on the ground. And so as a part of the Eastern traditions and what we've been taught in the past, it's actually that we have several motors built within our energetic system, within our bodies. And so we teach on 4-body wellness, which is the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body. Now, this is very simplistic teaching, but almost every person that comes to me that is in some form of trauma or having a difficult time with their lives is actually completely not understanding that they are a vibrational being. And so what's happening now is that our vibration has been working at a low frequency. So it's like a low hum of electricity. And now we're actually coming into a high frequency. And I always say it's a bit like the old modalities of Reiki healing. It was like a heavy red in comparison to a sparkly bubbly. Okay, go the champagne, much nicer. But apart from my own personal views on that, what's going on with the higher frequency right now is that instead of us being able to untap or not tap into our potential, now that the heart is actually being open, so the heart chakra used to close and open and close and open. Now the heart chakra is actually remaining open. And because of it remaining open, there's different laws, different universal laws. That's L-O-R-E rather than L-A-W. That's L-A-W is man's laws, which are quite irrelevant to us. Okay, if I'm actually standing in a place of beingness, do you think that those laws are needed? Do I actually need policing? No, I don't. Okay, it's totally irrelevant. Okay, we don't need more police. We actually need more people who are self-determining and self-governing. And from the heart teaching, if we're actually teaching people to live from the heart and be spontaneously working and operating out of their own energy volition, then they will be true to they'll be true to what they're meant to be doing. Okay, so heart-centered living has this energy center within the center of our chest. Is this huge vortex of moving energy. And what happens is people become stuck because the energy within their psyche, in their greater part of themselves, because of their experience, is so wounded and has been playing the game of the world, the monopoly game. And, we keep causing enmity from ourselves and others and institutions like banking and, corporation type activities and governments and things like that. So we keep arguing against that thing and saying, no, I don't want anything like that. So we're sort of shifting from being just sheeples about everything. We're still sheeples in a lot of ways, but in moving from a sense of becoming conscious on, oh, okay, well, I really don't like what they're doing. I might try and project something myself and try and bring something through myself to bring change. So this is all about self-governance, where we don't ask another to do it, but we actually do it ourselves. So with heart-centered living, we have a power within us to draw in prior energies that have been inflicting pain on us, and yet finding wholeness and healing by passing it through the heart chakra. So if you could imagine that the heart chakra at this point in time is like an hourglass, okay, and humanity's consciousness is growing up, and we're all at the moment at this bottleneck, waiting and working through to the point that our own heart chakra opens up so we can actually access the frequencies of the higher dimension, the fifth dimension, as it's called, or the new age, or the new the golden age, whatever it is that you think that we're coming into, whatever your word is for it, the new dreaming. And so this time of purification is here, and we go, oh, I must, I'm purifying my body, purifying my mind, I'm meditating, I'm going vegan, I'm doing all these things. The action itself, however, is for you to be in contact with your higher self, okay? For me, I've started calling it the big Ruthie and the little Ruthie. It's really interesting because I've come out of Christianity, I found it hard because we use words like surrender and forgive and all that. And I've said this before, but when I'm using that, it's like, oh, I can't do that whole surrender thing, on my knees. No, like this. No, it's not that. I had quite an epiphany on it at the end of last year. I was like, hold on, no, this is just my little self, my little Ruthie, the pointy bit, okay, of this, and my bigger Ruthie, who I'm in contact with divine source, am divine source, am from divine source, am emanating divine source in this system, and I'm experiencing an expansion as divine source. So here we actually are this energetic system moving everything through our physical and molecular framework, moving energy, and it is a recycling system. So it's actually going back to source, okay, as it's cleaned up, and then we are releasing, we are actually released new energies every day. So every day around between 6 and 7 a.m., it's really funny because people actually go, oh, I just feel so tired today. Or they yawn or they stretch or something like that. It's an indicator of a fresh dose of neutralized electrons coming down into your vibrational body between 6 and 7 a.m. every morning. And it's called the threefold flame in the heart. And those threefold flames actually represent wisdom, love, and power. So every day you get a fresh dose of neutralized electrons of wisdom, love, and power. And guess what? You get to imprint your day, okay, however you like. So how are you using your wisdom? How are you using your love? How are you using your power? Are you a bit, peeved about the way it went down yesterday? Then you better reshuffle the way it is that you are expecting your universe to unfold. Okay, so because with that neutralized electron today, you are imprinting how it's going to be for you. That's why the night before you really need to have a bit of a think about what you're projecting for the next day. Is it going to be an endless cycle of trauma? Is it going to be more drama? Okay, you're the one that's actually projecting what it is that you get involved with. So heart-centered living is how you're utilizing this power base that is actually coming down through you and out here into your experience. So your experience is deeply influenced right now by us coming up into the heart-centered living. Now, people won't be able to tell you this just yet because they haven't experienced it, but what is happening is the greater part of yourself, okay, which is the divine source within you, is actually descending and coming down into your molecular framework. You are actually going through a process of a new download. We all are. We're being downloaded, okay? We're downloading our new self. And you can either get in on the program, okay? Get going, get in on the program and receive it, and cooperate with it. That was my epiphany from last year. It's like, oh, I've got the little self of me, okay? Ruthie here, and bigger Ruthie. Well, what am I arguing with? Okay, myself? Okay, when I changed that perception around, I became way more cooperative. In fact, I really do cooperate with myself because the greater part of me is just me. So now I'm actually able to listen to my dreams and my guidance and everything that's coming through. Okay, and I go, yep, okay. So whereas before I was like, procrastination, oh my God, I've got to meditate for hours and hours and hours and go on a sabbatical and I have to do all of this stuff to get it happening. No, I don't. Okay, I'm a split second, a holy instant from being aligned. And not only that, that heart-centered living has me in union with all of those other people around me. Okay, so instead of them being out there, I've got my little walls of protection up. Okay, no. Okay, all of those walls are coming down so that I can be in relationship with you, so that we can have unconditional love flowing between us. Because with unconditional love, which is heart-centered, there are no judgments and separations. If you are following anybody's guidance that is saying otherwise, okay, you can be sure that they are not through that hourglass. They're still at that bottleneck, okay? And you may want to seek other advice, but if I was you, I would actually come back into your own soul and question what it is for yourself and bring your own knowledge through. This is all about self-governance. You do not need another to bring you to a place of being in the right time and space for yourself. You only need to have these conversations with your innermost being, which is very simple to discern, and it will come to you very quickly when you start asking those questions and listening to them. So if you're following anything that is angry, you know, feeling enraged by things, okay, that you're witnessing in society, and those, you know, and a lot of groups are forming around those concerns, run. Seriously, run. You do not want to be a part of it, okay? It's funny, I was asking Source one day. I said, you know, we're getting all of this amazing knowledge about the heart and heart-centered living and living in unconditional love. Why are these people still fighting one another? You know, we've still got, you know, white against black and wars about, you know, wars against each other and, you know, war on terrorism and all that. Why are we doing this? You know, why are we fighting for equality and, you know, the rights of women and children and all that stuff, jazz? Why aren't we just coming into heart-centered living, which means I don't have an issue with you, okay, and you don't have an issue with me, do you? Let's go have a coffee. No. So, and actually it was interesting, the Source came back with the answer straight away, okay? All of these things are relevant, okay, but some areas are much easier, okay, than others. So it's much easier coming into heart-centered living and giving up all the resistance, but then others want to use their force to make things happen. And that gives them a sense of place and that in the world, which is fine, okay, until they batter themselves around too much and it's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. And that's the sad part, because a lot of people, instead of coming into understanding about heart-centered living, are actually hitting themselves against that wall and going, I can't do this anymore, which is a true message. It's like, yeah, you sure can't, okay? You need to come into opening up the portal of your heart and living out of unconditional love, where you don't have to be at war with anyone or anything. In fact, you will actually become a creator that creates and influences your environment, okay, for the well-being and good of all. So I just want to leave that little thought with you. Okay, blessings.